Hello, and welcome to the Anthropology Department at Maynooth University. In this presentation, we will tell you about anthropology. You will meet some of our academic staff, and you will find out what you will study as a student of anthropology at Maynooth and about the many careers you can pursue with a degree in anthropology. So, let's begin. Anthropology is the comparative study of human society and culture. By closely observing and analysing different ways of life around the world, from tribal villages to Wall Street offices, anthropologists create new knowledge about what it means to be human today. Anthropology is compatible with every subject in the university, and it will change the way you see human life forever. So, what will you learn if you study anthropology? You will learn about human behaviour and cultural diversity. An anthropologist may study different types of families, the raising of young children or the death of the elderly. We question why people fit in and why others are cast out. We study war, peace, exchange, or theft. We study food practices and language. We study people's relationship to the environment. We study clothing, fashion, and faith, religion, and witchcraft. We study it all because we study culture. With us, you will learn about the massive cultural differences that divide the world. But you will also learn about our evolution as a species and the behaviours that all humans display in common. Our ancestors and our ape cousins can tell us a lot about ourselves, but we will also discuss the limits and dangers of comparison. Together, we will try to understand how cultures and societies interact and change in the contemporary world, which is increasingly interconnected and which moves with ever-growing speed. We will study how our own cultures and ways of life transform under these new conditions. You can also study forensic anthropology, which applies skeletal analysis and archaeological techniques to solve criminal cases, working with real-world specialists and practitioners. So, what will you study as an anthropology student at Maynooth? As part of the general arts degree, you can choose to study anthropology as single honours, double honours, or as a major or minor. Whatever you end up studying at Maynooth, choose anthropology. It is the one subject that will allow you to explore your own interests, whatever they are. In the first year, there are two general courses: Introducing Anthropology in Semester 1 and Anthropology Matters in Semester 2. You will be taught by 4 experienced anthropology staff members who will initiate you into the diverse topics that anthropologists study. You can also choose 2 additional modules. In Semester 1, you can explore being human and how we understand our material and digital worlds. In Semester 2, you can study a module on magic and witchcraft in cultures around the world, from magical healers to Wicca to #witches of Instagram. In the second year, the 2 compulsory modules focus on ethnographic writing and research. Here you will be able to learn what anthropologists do through a close reading of anthropological work that will take you to different places around the globe. You will also learn about methods of anthropological research in settings ranging from remote villages to urban or digital environments, from organic communities of people to complex formal organisations distributed across many sites or cultures. You will interact with professional ethnographic practitioners working in government, NGOs and business environments. Other modules that you can choose from focus on language, culture and mediation, affliction and healing, crime and policing, self, person and identity, material culture, law, and anthropological approaches to poverty and development. In the third year, the 2 compulsory modules focus on contemporary anthropological theory around knowledge, power and institutions, and on globalization and cultural change. You can also choose fascinating modules in user experience and innovation, ethnographic filmmaking, literature, security, psychological and environmental anthropology, or a module that explores contemporary identities through the prism of gender, sexuality and race. Finally, you can also choose a range of full semester and short-term courses in forensic anthropology and archaeology.
Hi, I'm Kat McCauley and I'm the Chief Design Officer at Scottish Government, and I have been working in and around anthropology for at least 20 years. And one of the things that I'm particularly passionate about is encouraging students and young people to consider studying anthropology either as a full degree or at least in part. Because for me, a crucial skill that we all face in government and in society is learning how to think about and understand really complex problems that other people have, learning how to look at other people's lives and other people's situations, engage with them and then bring that learning back and work on thinking about how to change something or solve a problem. In Scottish Government, we've actually got an amazingly large number of anthropologists working in all sorts of areas, but particularly in the area that I work in around designing public services. People who've had either a bit of anthropology training or have done a full degree in anthropology are always going to be employable for us, because we need folk who can go out and really embrace with how complex it is to try and think about what someone else's life is like, learn how to work with them and talk to them, and then learn how to bring them into working together to solve the problems that they live with every day.
Anthropology complements many career paths, and anthropological skills are optimal in an interconnected transnational economy and global political situation, where understanding cultural difference is necessary to bring about social change and for individuals, businesses and countries to succeed and flourish. Anthropology prepares students for careers in a wide range of professions, including international development, civil service and government, social work, business and finance, journalism, user experience and research design, heritage, ecology and conservation, public health, museum curation, marketing and more. Let us hear about why you should study it from the anthropology professors themselves.
Well, to me, it's probably the most interesting subject you can pick up in any of the arts, humanities, or social sciences. The key to anthropology is that it's about what is universal to human beings and what is different depending on the culture. So almost any major topic that you choose to study, you can look at anthropology as something that supports or expands the way you think about that topic.
I became an anthropologist through the scenic route, really. It was a long, circuitous journey. Growing up in India as a child, I had the question that most people who are well-fed in poor countries have, which is, why are poor people poor?
I can say that I decided to study anthropology and I became interested in it because it seemed as though it was the one thing that would allow me to study all the different things that I was interested in. Today, I think that a really important reason to study anthropology, apart from the kind of creativity allows in terms of inquiry and learning, is that anthropology offers a path for students to learn about how to understand cultural difference and how to respect cultural difference and how to see the way in which culture really shapes in a very deep and profound way the way we view the world.
There are over 160 languages in my country, and I'm always fascinated by the multiplicity of languages which you hear as you go into our local market. And I just wanted to understand the differences between people and how do they gel together. And when I went to the university, I discovered a subject called anthropology.
I grew up in the north of England in the late 70s, in the 80s, the coal miners' strikes. I spent a lot of time working on farms and the hill farms of Lancashire, and saw a lot of those farms and the ways of life of those farms changing.
I was trying to remember what got me into anthropology, and what happened is when I was in secondary school, I was a physics and chemistry major, and I was intending to go to university to study physics. And the reason I was interested is that I thought that physics was about how the world was put together and kind of what lie beneath the surface of things. And then when I got to university, I realized that anthropology was even more about that, and in terms of the way meanings are put together and how the world is constructed culturally. And I thought that was a lot more complicated and fascinating, I think. So I got led down the garden path into anthropology that way.
Originally, I was a pre-medical student at the University of Chicago. But later on, the following year, I took North American Indians, a graduate course. I liked it. I liked the way that anthropology formulated explanations. You just open up this fantastic book of human variation, and one that is just intellectually endlessly fascinating.
You can hear now from some of our alumni how anthropology successfully shaped their careers.
My name's Sarah, and in 2015 I graduated from Maynooth University with a degree in business and anthropology. I currently work as an aviation recruitment consultant, so I recruit pilots for different airlines around the world. This position requires me to travel and to engage with people from all different cultures on a regular basis. I would really encourage anybody looking to do a degree at Maynooth to consider a degree in anthropology. Not a lot of people in Ireland know what anthropology is, so it's a great conversation starter, and it relates to everything that we do as humans and everything that we do culturally. When you consider the world that we live in today, where travel is the norm, whether it be for business or for pleasure, to have a degree in that area, it broadens your knowledge and your experience of the world and people on a much deeper level. I would highly encourage anybody to consider this degree. It's very, very interesting, and it relates to everything that we do in our daily lives, whether it be for pleasure or for business.
Hi everyone, my name is Ellen Fanning and I am a third year student here at Maynooth studying single major anthropology. I'm just here to tell you that I think studying anthropology is a wonderful thing. It teaches you a very specific set of skills in terms of going out and being able to talk to people, especially people who are very different from yourself, and being able to understand different culture and really kind of get to the root of that in a very empathetic way. I have just immensely enjoyed my 3 years here. I'm also the president of the Anthropology Society, and we do a lot of activities for all kinds of students, so undergrads, postgrads, all that. We do coffee mornings, we do discussions, movie nights, things like that, trips, a lot of collabs with other societies, and we are open to all, so we don't discriminate on the basis of anything, because that's what anthropology is all about. And we have a very cool photography competition that we throw every year that centres around the question of culture and stuff like that. So there's a lot of opportunities to get involved, not only academically but outside of that, which is really cool. So would 100% recommend anthropology, and I think you guys should consider it.
Choose anthropology as single honours, double honours, or major or minor. Whatever you decide to study, remember anthropology is the only subject that will allow you to explore your own interests by discovering diverse ways of people's lives around the world. We look forward to seeing you in September, and please do not hesitate to contact us with any questions.